Well, guys, the summer of Superman is officially behind us, but we are in luck because we just got Batman Day, and I have a stack of books to show you. So, what is Batman Day, you might be asking? Well, it's kind of like free comic book day where the distributors and the comic shops all team up and they come out with some free Batman themed books, and they have these Batman Day logos on them. This is the one that I picked up. There were a couple other options, but I already have Batman and Robin Year 1, number 1. This is Year 2, number 1, and I actually do have a copy of this that I got fairly recently, but I did not have it with this cover. And there was also an Absolute Batman number 1 with the Batman Day logo, but I already have so many copies of that book, so I picked one up and gave it away to a friend who didn't have it, because it was just so cool. I had to pick one up, but this is the only of the free comics that I got that day, and it is from the DC Finest collection. And I thought, what better time to catch up on some new Batman releases that I missed out on. So I still needed a copy of Batman number 1. This is the relaunch to number 1. And I don't really know why this is a number 1 other than a new writer on it, because it seems to just kind of be going along with the same status quo that was going on in the previous, other than Batman's got a new blue suit that he's rocking. But I read this already, and it's a really cool book, really interesting read. I was actually quite surprised because I wasn't blown away by some of the previous Batman run that I had read, so coming off of that, I wasn't necessarily expecting that much, but then I started hearing good reviews, and I'm like, okay, I think I gotta check this out. It feels just like what I want out of a Batman story. I'm not going to give away too much. I think you should read it for yourself, but I'm very interested in where it's going, and if you're a fan of Killer Croc, definitely seems like an interesting story that they're going with. This one is the follow-up to a book that came out last year called The First Night, and this is The Second Night. And this story takes place like right before World War II, so very much Batman's golden age, and he wears a very similar costume. And I absolutely love that era, particularly that era of film is one of my favorites. And you get a little bit of that old Hollywood in this book. So Batman is funding a movie that's premiering in Gotham City, and there's been a string of murders of relatively decent but high-profile individuals in Gotham City. All while people are afraid of the upcoming war and just trying to forget about it with film. And I really don't like giving out spoilers, so I'm not going to say which Batman rogue makes an appearance in here, but it is one that originated in the Golden Age, and it works with the setting of the story. It's the 1940s, everybody is afraid of the war coming up and just trying to forget it through film, and someone comes around to take advantage of that fear. We'll just put it that way, and I love seeing what Golden Age Batman would be like in sort of a modern type of storytelling. I'm a big fan of the 1940s era, but I will admit some of the writing doesn't necessarily hold up and can be kind of cheesy compared to today's. And so it's really interesting for me to see what a Golden Age Batman would be like with modern storytelling. So if you haven't checked out the first night, do that first and then pick up the second night. The first night you can pick up in collected editions, but this one is coming out right now if you want to check it out. I believe it just came out last Wednesday. So yeah, that's one I'm really excited for. I'm not sure when the next issue will be. I feel like those Black Label books sometimes take a little longer to come out. So I'll let you know when the next one comes out because this is something I definitely want to keep up with, and I'll probably do a full review of it. And my final Batman Day pickup was actually not at the comic shop, but at a Wegmans. I actually bought a comic on the magazine rack, so I can actually say I bought a newsstand comic because I never did that. Those were certainly phased out by the time I got into comics, but as I was checking out, just buying some groceries, I saw this. And it definitely caught my eye with that Dan Mora cover right there, kind of an homage to Detective 27. And I'm a big fan of Dan Mora's art, and you have this magazine-sized book. On the spine it says DC Comics Presents Batman. I really like the old DC Comics Presents series, so I think that is a clever name choice for this. And what this is it just reprints like 3 different Batman stories. You have the New 52 #1, Rebirth #1, and The Long Halloween. So pretty good stories for someone just trying to get into Batman. So really cool to see these out on the shelf. I've read all of those except for Rebirth, and I have them in collected editions, but just so cool to have this. I really just liked that cover. But these are perfect for somebody who's just getting into comics, and to just see them out on the magazine rack at the grocery store like it should be, it's really cool. I hope this trend continues. I think they did one for Superman as well, so I am excited to see if they do more of these. Kind of like the Dollar Tree reprints. They have the same back cover as those, but really neat to have a new modern cover from Dan Mora. And yeah, just making comics more accessible to new readers. I hope we get to the point where you can buy new comics on the magazine rack again instead of just these reprints or in grocery stores or gas stations. I think that would be really cool. So let me know what you thought about any of those. Did you go out for Batman Day? I didn't have the most time, so I didn't really look around much. I didn't make a big video out of it, but I got some cool stuff, and I just wanted to talk about that. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. You're awesome. Peace.